She watched me burn. It's funny how fast love turns into disgust. One day, you're lying next to her, playing with her hair, thinking, this is forever. The next, you're sitting on the cold floor of your shower, trying not to scream, while the ghost of her voice is still laughing in your head. She ruined me. Not just broke my heart. I could have survived that. No, she humiliated me, destroyed my dignity, turned people against me in a way so precise, so rehearsed. It felt like she'd been planning it all along. Let me take you back to the beginning. Before I knew the kind of girl Jasmine really was. We met during a campus volunteering trip. I was leading a group doing cleanup work at an old veteran's home. Jasmine showed up with a messy ponytail, paint-stained hoodie, and that kind of fake humble, I love helping people smile I should have seen through instantly. But God, she was charming. She had this laugh that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. She'd touch your arm just lightly enough to drive you insane. She told stories in a way that made you forget to blink. And me? I was just another idiot falling too fast. Jasmine, laughing, you're so serious, Liam. Always the overachiever. Me? Maybe I just like doing things right. Jasmine, maybe you just like control. Me? Teasing, and maybe you just like attention. Jasmine, smirking, guilty. That should have been a red flag. But I was too caught up in the rush of being chosen by her. By month 3, we were inseparable. I was skipping lectures just to sit in her room and talk about nothing. She'd wrap her legs around me from behind when I washed dishes. We had playlists, inside jokes, pet names. She used to call me Captain, said I made her feel safe. She met my mom. I helped her with essays. We even started talking about getting a place off campus next year. I thought it was love, but looking back, it was a setup. Everything was strategic. She wanted access to my connections, to my image. And the worst part? She got it. It started small. A lie here, an omission there. She told her friends she wrote that article for the student mag. I'd written half of it. She claimed she got invited to the dean's dinner. I put her on the list. Still, I brushed it off. Me. Hey, I saw you told Rebecca you organized the charity drive. Thought we agreed it was a group thing. Jasmine, smiling, babe, does it matter? It makes us both look good. Me, but it's a lie. Jasmine, rolling her eyes, don't be such a Boy Scout. It's marketing. She laughed like I was the cute, naive one. Like honesty was just some outdated code I hadn't outgrown. Then came the flirting. With my friends, my classmates. Guys who used to come to me for help suddenly started skipping our group meetings. Guess why? Because she'd been texting them. Late, flirty, suggestive, but always just enough to deny. Me. You told Connor you were lonely last night. Jasmine, I was lonely. You were busy with that robotics project. I needed to vent. Me, at 1 a.m. Jasmine, you're overreacting. No matter how clearly I laid out the problem, she'd spin it. Gaslight, distract, flip it on me. Jasmine, you're insecure. Jasmine, you're paranoid. Jasmine, why don't you trust me? So I stopped asking. I stopped confronting her because I was tired of being made to feel like the crazy one. I didn't realize she was grooming me to shut up, to doubt myself, to take the blame. Then came the party. It was her idea. A low-key get-together at my place while my roommates were gone. She wore this tiny red dress and heels that made her tower over me just slightly. She knew I loved that. People started arriving. Some I knew, some I didn't. By midnight, the house was packed. Music too loud. Drinks everywhere. Couples making out in corners. And Jasmine, she was everywhere. Laughing with guys I barely knew. Whispering in people's ears. Doing shots while I stood by the kitchen, watching her drift away from me, one interaction at a time. Then I saw it. Her and Tyler, sitting close, whispering. She touched his leg. He touched hers. Me, Jazz. Can I talk to you? Jasmine, pretending to laugh. God, Liam. Not now. Me, quietly, it's important. Jasmine, louder, Jesus. Are you really doing this now? Everyone looked over, and she gave me this look like I was controlling her. Like I was some jealous freak trying to police her body. I walked out, sat on the curb, cold air hitting my face like a punishment. 5 minutes later, she came out. Jasmine, sighing, why are you making a scene? Me, I watched you let that guy touch you. Jasmine, so what? I'm not allowed to have fun. Me, you crossed a line. Jasmine, quietly, you're suffocating me. Me, I'm trying to set a boundary. Jasmine, coldly, then maybe you should find someone who wants to live in your little cage. She walked back inside. I sat there, feeling like the bad guy. Again. That night, she didn't come to bed. She slept in the guest room, locked the door. The next day, she acted like nothing happened. Things got darker after that. She stopped pretending, started disappearing for hours, started posting cryptic quotes on her Instagram story. Some people aren't partners. They're prisons. You don't know pain until you've loved a narcissist. Freedom feels like breathing again. Every post felt like a bullet. People message me, "Is everything okay with you two? Did you hurt her? She looks so sad lately." She was laying the groundwork, prepping the audience. And I still loved her. I should have left her that night, after the party, after the cold words. But I didn't, because I was already hooked, addicted to the idea of her, of us. And that's what made the next part so brutal. It started with her pulling away physically. No more cuddling. No more random kisses. No more captain. She started sleeping facing the wall. Started getting headaches every time I touched her. She stopped wearing the necklace I gave her. Didn't text me good morning anymore. Barely replied when I did. And I kept convincing myself it was a phase. Then, one Thursday, she asked me if I was free Friday night. My heart leapt. Me? Yeah, always. Why? Jasmine, smiling softly, thought maybe we could go out. Like we used to. I was stunned. Finally, a breakthrough. Maybe she wanted to fix things. Maybe she missed me. I didn't ask questions. I just agreed. I got a haircut, washed my best shirt, cleaned my apartment. I even made a playlist for the drive. I picked her up at 7. She looked different. Not just pretty, she was always pretty, but cold, detached, like she wasn't really there. Still, I brushed it off. We drove to a cozy Italian place downtown. She barely touched her food, checked her phone constantly. I tried to keep the conversation light. Me? Remember that trip to the lake? When we got caught in the rain? Jasmine, blankly, yeah. Me. That was one of my favorite days. Jasmine, Then she asked, "Jasmine, can you drop me off at Emily's after this? I'm staying over." My stomach dropped. Me. I thought we were spending the night together. Jasmine, calmly, I changed my mind. That was it. No explanation. No emotion. Just the same cold wall she'd been building for weeks. But the worst was yet to come. When we pulled up to Emily's, a guy opened the door. Not Emily. Not even close. His name was Caleb. I'd seen him before, one of those new guys she kept swearing were just friends. He smirked at me, like he knew something I didn't. Me. Who is this? Jasmine. Getting out, don't worry about it. Me. Are you serious? Jasmine, coldly, drive safe. Then she walked in. With him. Without looking back. I sat in my car for an hour. Not crying. Just frozen. Like my brain couldn't process what had just happened. That night, I texted her. Me. I deserve an explanation. Jasmine. You deserve someone better. Jasmine. I can't be what you need. Jasmine. I'm sorry. But she wasn't. Not even a little. The fallout came fast. She started publicly posting with Caleb stories, TikToks, soft launches of them together. She told people I'd emotionally manipulated her, said I was possessive, that I didn't let her breathe. Suddenly, mutual friends stopped replying to me. I got dirty looks in the cafeteria. Even my professor pulled me aside and asked if I was okay at home. She had rewritten the story and cast herself as the victim. I found out later she'd been planning it. For weeks, maybe months. Recording our fights. Saving screenshots. Twisting context. I even saw a Reddit thread once. Someone asked about toxic relationships in college, and the top comment described me. Word for word. Even the damn nickname Captain. She'd posted about me. To strangers. For sympathy. For likes. But what crushed me most wasn't even the lies. It was how easily she moved on. Like I never mattered. Like I was just some phase she had to outgrow. Meanwhile, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything, wondering when the switch flipped, when she stopped loving me, or if she ever really did. Then the rumors started, that she was telling people I hit her, that I hacked her phone, that I stalked her apartment. None of it was true, but the damage was done. My internship offer was revoked. One of my professors stopped recommending me. A girl I liked refused to even talk to me, said she didn't feel safe. All because of her words. Her performance. She didn't just break my heart. She erased my reputation, poisoned my name, laughed while I burned. You'd think that'd be the end, right? That she'd move on and leave me alone. But no, Jasmine had one more card to play, and it was the most brutal of all. It was 2 months after she ghosted me for Caleb. I'd started picking up the pieces, therapy, working out, trying to exist without collapsing. Then I got a call from my mom. She sounded weird. Mom, hey, sweetie, are you okay? Me, yeah, why? Mom, I saw something on Facebook about you. My heart dropped. Me, what do you mean? Mom, hesitant, it's a post. From Jasmine. She said you assaulted her. I couldn't breathe. I opened Facebook. There it was. A long post. Paragraphs. Aesthetically formatted. Tagged with hashtags like #survivor, #speak-your-truth, #believe-women. In it, Jasmine accused me of being emotionally coercive and controlling. She said I used therapy talk to gaslight her, that I made her feel unsafe in her own skin. People flooded the comments. You're so brave. Proud of you for speaking up. We always knew something was off about him. She didn't name me directly, but she didn't need to. Everyone knew. She even attached photos. Old screenshots. One-sided chats. Carefully cropped. Made me look unhinged. My mom cried on the phone. My dad told me I needed a lawyer. My little sister asked if I really hurt a girl. Do you know what that feels like? To be accused of something you didn't do? To watch your life get dismantled by lies and no one wants to hear your side? Because you're the guy. Because the narrative is already set. But here's the kicker. A week after her post, Jasmine DM'd me. Jasmine, don't worry. I didn't say your name. Jasmine, just wanted closure. Jasmine, hope you find peace. Closure? She burned my life down, then lit a candle from the ashes and called it healing. After that DM, I didn't respond. I wanted to. God, I wanted to tear her apart with words. Expose her. Drop every receipt. Tell the world what she really was. But I didn't, because I knew it wouldn't matter. People already chose their side. The lie was easier to digest than the truth. I was just another toxic guy with a sad story and no proof. So I shut up. I disappeared. That summer was the loneliest I've ever felt. I deleted social media, blocked old friends who picked her over me, stopped answering texts, stopped eating for days. There were nights I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the floor, wondering if it'd be better to just not exist anymore. And the worst part? She was out there thriving, posting thirst traps, going on trips with Caleb, starting a healing podcast, selling self-care guides, giving TEDx talks on emotional abuse. TEDx. Let that sink in. She weaponized my pain, built a brand off it, and became a speaker. And they clapped for her. But then something happened. And for the first time in months, I saw a crack in her perfect little world. It was a random Tuesday. I got a call from Alex, one of my last remaining friends who hadn't totally abandoned me. He sounded weirdly giddy. Alex, bro, you need to check Reddit. Me, I don't go on Reddit anymore. Alex, no, trust me. There's a post about Jasmine. My heart kicked. I pulled out my laptop, searched her name, and there it was. Title, Is Jasmine VA Fraud? The post was brutal. Not written by me, not even by anyone I knew. But someone, anonymous, had started connecting dots. They laid it all out. Inconsistencies in her stories, screenshots that contradicted what she posted, testimonies from other people she'd hurt. Someone even posted an audio clip of her laughing about playing the victim card. The comments exploded. People who had once praised her were suddenly asking questions. Wait, didn't she say this happened in March? But this screenshot is from April. This doesn't add up. I used to follow her, but something always felt fake. I know a guy she dated before, she did the same thing to him. I didn't know whether to feel relief or more despair. Because yeah, she was being exposed. But even in her exposure, people weren't talking about me. No one said, hey, remember the guy she accused? Maybe he wasn't a villain. No one apologized. No one called to check if I was okay. Not my professors. Not the friends I lost. Not even my sister. They just moved on to the next drama cycle. And I was still the guy whose name triggered whispers in hallways. 3 months later, Jasmine deleted her Instagram. Caleb broke up with her. Her podcast tanked. She put out a cryptic, taking time for myself statement on Twitter and vanished. And that's when I realized something. She didn't care who she hurt. Not me. Not Caleb. Not even herself. Jasmine just needed attention. And when it dried up, so did she. But the scars she left? They stayed. Even now, years later, I can't trust people the way I used to. When someone compliments me, I wonder what they want. When someone texts, "I miss you," I brace for betrayal. When I hear a girl say her ex was crazy, I question if he told his side. I don't date much anymore. Because how do you open up again when the last person who saw your soul turned it into content? I saw her once, by accident, at a coffee shop near my new job. She looked different, less glamorous, older, maybe. We made eye contact. She blinked, paused, then gave me this small, almost guilty smile, as if she expected me to nod, to acknowledge her, to forgive her in silence. I didn't. I just stared back, stone cold, dead eyes. Then I turned around and walked out. I still have the necklace I gave her. She left it on my desk the day after the Caleb sleepover. Didn't even say anything. Just placed it there like a trophy. I keep it in a drawer. Not out of love. Not even pain. Just as a reminder of how easily people can lie. How fast love can rot. How someone can look you in the eyes and smile while setting you on fire. Some nights, I wake up thinking I'm still in that car. Still watching her walk into Caleb's arms. Still waiting for a text that won't come. Still trying to figure out what I did wrong. But I didn't do anything wrong. I loved her. I gave her everything. And she watched me burn. I used to dream about revenge. Not in some cartoon villain kind of way, but in those quiet, rage-soaked fantasies where I'd finally have the upper hand. Where I'd walk into a room and people would hush. They'd realize I was right. They'd look at Jasmine, broken, exposed, and turn their backs on her the way they did to me. I imagined standing in front of a crowd, showing every message, every lie, every piece of proof I buried. Hearing the gasps, feeling the shift. I thought that would fix me, but it never did. Because truth is, revenge doesn't undo betrayal. It doesn't unbreak you. It doesn't rewind to the night you sat alone in your car, choking on the taste of someone else's perfume on your girlfriend's skin. After the coffee shop moment, I expected something. A message. An apology. Some kind of acknowledgement. But nothing came. Jasmine disappeared from the internet entirely. No socials. No podcast. Even her website for Empowered Healing went dark. She became a ghost. And in her absence, I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd start to feel peace. But peace never came either. Because the silence just made space for everything else to echo louder. I started therapy. Took me months to even get a word out. First few sessions, I just sat there staring at the floor. The therapist, Dr. Kinsey, was patient. Too patient, maybe. One day, after a long pause, she finally asked, "Dr. Kinsey, what do you think hurt more, the betrayal or the fact that no one believed you?" I didn't know how to answer. Because honestly, it wasn't either. What hurt the most was how easily she did it. Like none of it meant anything. Like I was just a prop. One night, I got drunk and scrolled through our old texts. Thousands of messages. Memes, inside jokes, long 2 a.m. rants. "Good morning, sunshine, red heart. I'm so lucky I found you." All fake. Or maybe not fake, maybe worse. Maybe they were real when she said them. And she still burned me anyway. I think that's what messes you up the most. When someone doesn't need a reason. When there's no final fight. No moment where you see it coming. Just one day, they wake up and decide you're disposable. A year passed. I moved. Got a new job. Made some new friends. Even tried dating again. It never worked. I'd sit across the table from some sweet, smiling girl, and all I could think was, she'll destroy you if you let her in. And I hated that. I hated that Jasmine still had that kind of power. That she lived in my ribs like rot. That her voice whispered doubts through every new connection I tried to build. Then, out of nowhere, I got an email. From Jasmine. Subject: I don't expect you to read this. I stared at it for 20 minutes before opening. Here's what it said. Jasmine, I've written and deleted this email 100 times. I know I don't deserve a response. I know I don't deserve your time, your forgiveness, or even your attention. But I need to say this. I was sick. That's not an excuse. It's just the truth. I was addicted to being adored, to being seen as a victim, to manipulating stories so I could control how people viewed me. And you were the only real thing I ever had. And I destroyed you because real scared me. It was easier to burn it all down than admit I was broken. I don't expect anything from this. I just wanted you to know I've been in therapy. I've told people the truth, not that it changes what happened. I'm sorry. Truly. For everything. I stared at the screen for a long, long time. Then I clicked delete. Not because I hated her, but because I didn't need her words anymore. She already took so much. She didn't get to take my closure too. Months passed. One day, I saw a flyer for a campus panel, false accusations and social media trials. I signed up to speak, not to expose Jasmine, not to relive the trauma, but to reclaim my voice. When I walked onto the stage and faced the room, I thought my legs would give out. But then I started talking, and I didn't stop. I told them everything, from the birthday dinner to the Instagram lie, from the betrayal to the aftermath, from the nights I almost didn't make it to the morning. And when I finished, the room was silent. Not because they didn't believe me, but because they did. People came up after, some crying, some just wanting to shake my hand. One girl said, "I did the same thing to someone. I never realized how much I hurt him until tonight." And in that moment, I felt it. Not revenge, not victory, just something close to healing. I won't say I'm okay now. Some days are good. Some days the ghosts wake up and sit beside me. But I'm trying. I've started dating again, slowly, carefully. I keep my guard up, but I don't keep it locked anymore. And when someone tells me they love me, I don't flinch. Because I know now, what she did to me wasn't about me. It was about her. And I survived it. Sometimes people ask me if I'd take her back, if she begged. I laugh. Because no apology can unmake what she did. She didn't just cheat. She didn't just lie. She watched me unravel, scream inside, doubt my sanity. And then she monetized the footage. You don't forgive that. You bury it. You learn from it. You carry the scar with pride. Because you lived. And she'll always be the girl who set the fire and smiled while I burned. It's strange, looking back now. The girl who shattered me, who stole my identity, my peace, my truth, is just a faded silhouette in my memory. Not gone, never fully gone, but dulled. I don't wake up thinking about her anymore. Her name doesn't taste like acid in my mouth. I can hear Jasmine in a song or movie and not spiral. It took time. God, it took time. But I got there. The thing people don't tell you about surviving trauma is that it's not about forgetting. It's about carrying. Carrying the weight without letting it break your spine. Carrying the memories without letting them define every new one you try to make. Carrying the betrayal without letting it poison your ability to trust. And most of all, carrying yourself. Because when someone burns you to the ground, you don't just grow back. You rebuild. From ash. From bone. From whatever pieces they didn't take. And that version of you, that scarred, weary, battle-worn version, is stronger than anything that came before. I got another message from her a year later. Another email. Subject, you don't have to open this. I didn't. I didn't even hesitate this time. Because there's a line you have to draw. Between who you were with them and who you are now. Between curiosity and reopening wounds. Between pain and addiction to pain. She lived on the wrong side of that line. Forever. I started writing again. Not about her. Not directly. But the things she left behind. The cracks, the questions, the ache. They found their way into the pages. Short stories. Essays. Eventually a book. When it got picked up by a small publisher, I cried. Not because I wanted fame, but because it felt like a final middle finger to her legacy. She tried to silence me. Tried to make me a villain in someone else's story. But I wrote my own. The weirdest part? People started reaching out. Men, women, everyone in between, telling me their own versions of Jasmine, their own betrayals, their own silent unravelings. And suddenly, I wasn't just a guy who got destroyed by love. I was proof. Proof that you could lose everything and still come back. Not the same, never the same, but maybe better. I saw her one final time, 3 years after it all fell apart. Different city, different life. I was speaking at a mental health conference. Small venue. About 50 people. I told my story again, only this time, without shaking, without bitterness, just truth. At the end, a woman approached me, mid-30s, tired eyes, nice coat. It was her, Jasmine. She looked like she'd been through hell. I didn't gloat. I didn't smirk. I didn't say a word, just looked at her, waiting. She opened her mouth, closed it, then whispered, "Jasmine, you were always the better one." I wanted to laugh. Because no, I wasn't. I was angry, bitter, vengeful, but I chose not to destroy her when I could have. And maybe that was the difference. We didn't speak again. She turned, walked away, disappeared into the crowd. And with every step she took, I felt something lift, like the last ember finally going out. So here I am now, still healing, still learning, but alive. And if you're reading this, if you've been where I was, I want you to know, You are not the monster someone painted you to be. You are not what they called you when they were rewriting the script. You are not broken for still aching. You are not weak for trusting. And you are not alone. Because somewhere out there, someone else has been burned. And they survived, too. She watched me burn, but I walked through the flames, and I built a life from the ashes. Not for her, not to prove anything, but because I owed it to the boy in that car, the one who gave everything and got nothing back. He deserved to live. And so I did.